Good e- Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 6th HDC meeting. It is now 7 p.m. I'm going to sit everyone as full members tonight. We have a full agenda, but we also have more people than are on the agenda. So if you are here for a pre-application and have not yet filled out the piece of paper on top of that black box, please do so that we can, at that pre-app time period, we can just grab that and call you up from the stage. All right, so if all members are present, all right. So I would like to request that we waive the hearing procedures. The copy is right over there on that table. And we'll just get right to it. And we'll have our first person on the agenda for public hearings, which is HDC 2500. Read this. Oh, yes, you are. Sorry. That's right. So it's my first full meeting. Here we go. You go.
The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing Tuesday, May 6, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road, and virtually via Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. First one is HDC 250028, 51 Pearl Street. Jeff Hastings, applicant. Judith Vogt, owner, removal of barn. Second one is HDC 250029, 51 Pearl Street. Jeff Hastings, applicant. Judith Vogt, sorry if I mispronounced your name, owner, roof replacement. The Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meeting calendar. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the planning department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, dated 29th May, April 25th, 2025 at Groton, Connecticut.
Thank you. All right, now we'll go right to the agenda. And we'll call up HDC 25-0020 1 Water Street, Peter Springsteel, applicant Edward Cassidy, owner, landscape pin. I think that's the one, the Bowles place, and I saw DOT was there.
Yeah, so they've had some run-ins with DOT and what they were proposing for their outdoor public space, and they've had to alter it, and they're still trying to figure out a design on that. I think we are at our time limit on this particular application.
Okay.
So I think you have to close the public hearing, and he has not withdrawn it, so you should probably deny without prejudice, so
Okay.
he can again reapply.
All right, so we will revisit that. Do we have to deny it now or?
No, I would do it under considerations.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
close the public hearing right now if,
All right, so since he's not here, is there anyone who wants to speak for it? Or against? With that, we're gonna close HDC 25-0020 and move on to HDC 25-0025 3 Fort Rachel Place, Susan Prusik. Oh, okay. Applicant owner, addition to deck, come on.
you can come up too. Do you want to come too?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Appreciate that.
That's trust right there. Yeah.
Oh, no, her name's her name's right here, so maybe you should just say your name and the property.
Anthony McCarthy, 3 Fort Rachel.
Share what you would like to do and take us through the whole.
Okay. What we have is on the second floor, there's a deck that faces Water Street. And we'd like to have the deck come around the corner so we could actually face the water. That's kind of it, really. It's an extension of the deck.
Right, so can you show us the house,
Yeah,
the
can
property,
you see?
take us through?
So I'm gonna switch you over.
Yep.
Just wanna,
And just have the photos face us,
Yes.
because
And the key is the crack. So if the center of the.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Good?
Yeah, it's good.
There you go.
It's slide towards me.
So that's the house facing Water Street, and you can see the deck here. And that's looking at the deck from inside that, up on top. And this is the side of the house where we would like the deck. So we could
That's the
face,
south side.
yes, facing the water. And I think that's just a picture from standing in the parking lot, looking at the corner of it. See where it would kind of tie together. I think that's, yeah, oops. And that's just a shot of the side of the house where it's kind of.
So the deck's beyond that.
On
side
that,
Yeah.
right now.
Yep,
it'd be on that facade right there.
yes,
So both the first story and the second story?
no,
just the-
just that deck continue around the
Okay.
second floor.
Second floor,
Second
okay.
floor, yeah.
And there'd be no other entrance on that side, just the deck.
We want to put a door where that window is. That's what the drawing shows.
Do you have a drawing of the deck?
Or the
We have plans,
Yeah.
we submitted, oh, I don't know if they're here. Yeah. Let me get this right. That's just plot plan. You need that. Good. And that's the deck. This is the deck of the new one, and this is the existing. I think so. I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's existing. So you can see the stairs on both sides. Oh, that's the lower deck. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's the lower deck and one's the upper deck. Okay.
Yeah.
Both existing. That makes sense.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. That's the footprint, I guess.
I'm not seeing the door on that. I see two windows.
Let me see if I show
Oh,
it.
there.
There it is. So that's what it would look like.
There are no elevation showing that.
I think so. I think I have an elevation drawn.
Oh, yeah.
Slide it down a little bit. Slide it toward there you go.
Perfect.
Same, I'm sorry, I don't have your material listing permit, so it's probably redundant, but same materials as the existing deck.
Same materials.
as the lower deck. So it's
As
gonna
the-
match the upper deck.
It's gonna match the upper deck. The only difference is the upper deck has. If you see in the original pictures, it's this picture will show it, which I don't really like. I don't show it that way. That's all closed in. And I would rather do this detail on the upper deck. Can't see through that. It's really stupid.
And you did that on the existing and the new deck.
So both decks would be done, both the railings should be done with both.
The same, yeah.
So when you put on the new deck,
Yeah.
you're ripping out the paneling that's
That's-
currently there
yes.
and gonna put
That's
what's on the paneling.
yeah,
You'll put the
post.
posts that are on the first.
Yeah, I hate that.
So what's the materials you're gonna be doing for the upper and lower? Would that be a wood right now? It looks
It
like the
is, and the,
Lower is a kind of a. What is it, metal tubing?
Yeah,
The
go ahead,
lower?
of course.
it's wood as well, and it has, oh yeah, I have a material list.
Great.
It's decking, it's the composite decking, I think, on both lower and upper right now. We'd like to keep that. They do have a full material list, but
Great,
we'll
thank
go through that. So that's probably the best. Shot of it.
You have an outbuilding this, you're not showing in these drawings?
There's that,
Garage.
yeah, you can't really see it, but it's, yeah, you guys approved that as a little,
Okay.
I don't know what, a shed,
I
yeah,
remember that.
remember that, yeah. Which came out, it came out nice, it's pretty good. The shed sits from this picture. Let me think about how I show that. Which sits right here in the corner. Oops, I'm right there. I don't know if you can see it in any of the photos, let me see.
Yeah, I saw it in one of the photos.
Let's think one shows it, all right? Yeah, actually, this shows it a little bit. That's the corner of it.
It almost goes right up to it then.
Almost. I'm above it. Oh, that's what we would like to do.
How far out does that thing go? Looks like it sticks out.
Looks like 9 feet. That's true.
9'5".
Is there a setback?
Yeah.
He's on an interior there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
he's fine.
The new door on the second story, is it all glass? It's hard to see the detail on that.
No, it's not gonna be all glass.
It's like, there's grids.
Yeah, I think the upper 2 panes are glass. I think I have actual.
Yeah.
cut of that door.
Okay, if you have a cut sheet.
I
that'd
think
be
it's
good.
gonna match the door on the other side.
Okay.
It's on gas page.
I swear.
Is it?
Can't see either shot. You know what? I think I have every single item on this whole thing except the door. Sue, you think we have a door? No, so I don't have a door. But.
Do you know what you want to do?
I want to do the exact same as that front one.
Do
Okay,
you have a picture of the front?
it's,
That's
Kind of shown on the plan.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
full glass divided light.
it,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. That one?
Oh, that's the front, no, the other,
The upper.
on the second
yeah,
story.
second floor, yeah.
Okay,
Kind of makes sense to match that one. I think it's just a basic.
So this,
Yes,
We can't see the bottom. 'cause
yeah, this looks like full glass, so we're looking at.
You said it's wood on the bottom and then 6.
yeah, then.
Glass. You have any questions? or comments?
That looks good.
I think it's good as long as, I think, as long as it's like for like the upper and lower, all the.
Match.
I'll say, yeah.
I think those doors are typically called a 3/4 light. Where they have a smaller wood panel on the bottom and then glass panels that go up. So if you want to specify
I was gonna
under
say-
considerations.
Yeah.
Next phase will-
And describe it as such.
yep.
And also to get, submit tomorrow. The
A
door,
cut sheet for
cut
it.
sheet
Yeah.
for the door. That would be.
Okay, we can do that. Can't believe I left that out.
There's a reason she didn't come sit with you.
I know, it was the door. Now I'm see. See how quick she answered that? Now there's no door.
Yeah, right.
You do.
And on the materials.
Yeah, I have full material.
Let's,
This is a full submittal.
and it has all the decking.
Hangers, decking, everything.
Yeah, I think it was I think it was timber.
Everything
deck.
but a door.
It's in there, all the
Is it
material.
AZAC, timber tech?
I think it's AZAC, yep.
Yep, okay, yeah, it's, I saw it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this would,
You guys want this as well?
we'll just rather take it than not.
You gotta stamp that in.
Yeah.
Got a stamp.
Got it.
My pen, we got a pen.
I stole a pen.
Stamp.
You know, we gotta do it.
Submit that.
So if you guys just get a copy of the cut sheet for the door. and just get it over to Sue. And she'll add it to the, application package, or to the approval package.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Well, you probably want to hang around for the consideration, just so you can hear the condition and do what you want. I'm sorry, I need
That's
to
why we asked.
let you think you were done.
Does anybody in the audience want to speak for the application? Anyone in the audience want to speak against the application? All right, HDC 25-0025, 3 Fort Rachel Place is, public hearing is closed. We'll go HDC 25-0026, 26 West Mystic Avenue. One online.
So,
Cheryl Bellew. She was supposed to be here last meeting, I thought.
nope.
Okay, so no one online. All right. Well, yeah. Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Yeah, I second. Well, we already seconds.
All right, take a vote.
Good retry.
Bernstein,
Ferguson, I.
Well, we already aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right, HDC 25-26 26 West Mystic Avenue is continued. All right, now we're on HDC 25-0028, 51 Pearl Street, Jeff Hastings. Applicant Judith Bogue, owner, removal of. You can bring 2 chairs up.
Well, it's safer for me to move. I don't want
Okay.
I'm her attorney.
Oh.
She's my mother. I'm just kidding.
Wow, brought out the big guns today. It's like-
Right, so,
So state your name, your
my name is Jeff Hastings,
address.
51 Pearl Street, which is my mother's residence. So we have 2 things, right? We have the roof and we have barn removal.
We're gonna do the barn removal now.
Barn removal.
And then after we're done with that, we'll.
Okay, gotcha,
You can stay there, but I'll call you back. up.
gotcha. But I'm not gonna go
Yeah,
anywhere. I'll stay right
exactly,
here.
right.
All right, all right. All right, so we're looking to remove the barn that sits in the back of. So on Grove Street. Exactly, on Grove Street.
Okay.
It's I have some pictures. I don't know if you can see them.
Oh, yeah, you have
Kind of.
pictures, I can.
It's not in good condition. It's basically what it's doing right now. Okay, he's got it up also, is,
Spin it around,
oh boy, this is gonna be upside down and backwards.
and then I'll zoom in on it and. Yeah,
Right, so Grove Street's right behind, the residence is in front of it, and directly on the other side of the barn is the neighbor, the Pearl Street neighbor. So what's going on is on the back side of the barn, this tree, so you can see the house in the front. So as the tree's been growing, it's been lifting the whole structure. So now the barn's tilting and it can't tilt anymore. So now the tree side has started to broke right in half. So the whole frame inside is literally broken in half. So we're looking to remove it in a controlled environment and before it falls, basically. I fear that's my fear is it's gonna fall. And when I was taking the pictures, the kids are back there, the neighbors were walking around looking at it. So again, I'd rather remove it in a controlled environment than have it fall into the road or fall on someone.
just curious, how old is it?
The house was built in 1874. I don't know that the
When?
barn was built at the same amount of time. It may have been, it's old on the drawing. It's actually called a carriage house, I believe, on the drawing.
And if you tear it down, you're just leaving it open.
Yeah. It's on some sort of granite, rock. We'd have to do something because it's I know there's some sort of hole there. We'd have to fill it in, just basically probably fill it in, remove the rocks, and put grass there. And then it'll match the rest of the neighborhood.
And do you think the damage to the structure is if it's a hard word to say, irreparable.
Beyond my means.
Yeah, beyond what we could afford to do, like
Well, the
literally.
barn Come down, the tree roots are growing under it. Van barn's not safe, the roof is even not safe, and parts of it blow off on. Like they don't park back there in my driveway anymore.
If I can just add, it's close to the road.
Yep.
The deformation on it has got to the point where it's nearly of imminent concern.
It is, I mean, that's.
Agreed.
It's, the building itself, it would be nice if somebody as a project were to straighten out the foundation and keep it in place. But given the circumstances, the best thing would probably be some kind of an organized deconstruction and get relocated to another place and repurpose the materials. There's a huge market for that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty common practice. these
That's
days.
what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
If. I hate tearing things down
Mhm.
and I'm.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna, if we
Mhm.
okay it under a stipulation that you gave somebody 60 days to. Sort of things that repurpose it, or I'm just talking about, I'm not saying it's not gonna go that way or not, but
Mhm.
that's something we can. Ask, do.
So I've had a lot of communication with the Bogues for this project, for some other stuff that they're having going on up at the house on Pearl Street. I would extend the courtesy through the building department to reach out to some people and try to assist them in securing somebody who would have interest in it, if not for the entire structure, for the materials.
When I was gonna say this to new business, but I was speaking trustee for preservation of Connecticut, so I don't want to make. this
Right,
offer as
right.
well, So.
I don't think it's going to be hard to find somebody to want it, to tell you the truth.
I drive by it every day. It's an amazing building, actually.
Yeah,
And we hate to lose it,
Yeah,
but
Yeah, so that's why I just asked,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to ask.
Yeah, sir.
We don't encourage
Mhm.
tear downs, obviously.
I did call a couple over the past 3 or 4 months. A gentleman in Old Saybrook, I can't remember his name. And he had recently stopped, got out of the business. And he referred me to another name that they never returned my call, but you know, and we've talked about that. It'd be nice. I mean, hell, even, you know, if like the
Yes,
seaport wanted it right across the river, you know, they got all those old buildings, but
They've
at
got
any
enough-
rate, yeah, that would
got
be.
enough old buildings.
Again, kind of back up to Tim said, I think with a couple people working on it. Could definitely find some that would either want to bring materials
Mhm.
or to. Move it.
and just to confirm, you're just saying, you're taking it out, you're gonna take out the granite. At that point, you're just gonna backfill
Yeah.
grass, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And Tim, have you looked at it?
oh yeah, yeah, I've
Do
been
you
by
think
there a
we
lot.
got 60 or 90 days on it, or is it past that point?
You know, it's tough to tell. A weather event could push it over the edge.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a heavily flooded area. It floods a lot down there,
Right.
so a flood activity, you know. Could push it over the edge.
I have a lake every time there's a.
Yeah, it's not, it's not something that you wanna, you know,
The lake starts.
say, let's give it a year or something like that. It's
Yeah.
probably something that. Yeah,
Oh, I've walked by that many times and looked at, oh, this needs some help.
Mhm.
So I think there's really no choice.
what I would recommend is under considerations. You would agree to allow the building to be removed under the circumstance of a constructed removal. And give them a time frame, maybe to come back, say, come back in 60 days and tell us the plan for removal. That might be.
That was the number I was gonna use.
Yeah,
60 days.
right.
I think 60 or 90.
Yeah,
60,
yeah.
I think 60 is fair.
When were you thinking about, what was your ideal timeline for this project?
Quickly,
Before the next,
quickly. Yeah, because we're doing some other things, like Tim alluded to, so we kind of wanted to fix everything at one time.
I mean, here's the
Fair
thing,
enough.
if we can get somebody to take it, it's gonna save you the expense of taking it down.
Yeah, agreed. And that preferably, it would be nice if somebody came and repurposed it, right? That'd be nice. Or at least looked at it and said, you know, it's usable or it's not, right?
At least in part.
Mm.
Maybe if there's beams or something in there that can be
Right.
resawn, that's a pretty common practice, so.
Anything else from the committee? Anybody in the audience want to speak for the project?
Anybody know what it is, 101?
Anybody in the audience want to speak against the project? Applications there. All right, HDC 25-0028 is closed. Now we'll go on to HDC 25-0029. Again, we know who you are, but just say it so
Jeff Hastings, 51 Pearl Street. Judy Bogo's house. The roof, and I didn't bring pictures, I'm sorry. So it's a asphalt architectural shingles. I think they're brownish gray and it's 22 years old. So we're just gonna replace them with brownish gray architectural shingles, whatever's on there right now.
So like for like.
Yeah.
Timberline.
Okay.
So,
That's already in your application, I believe.
Yes.
yeah, I think I put a picture of what they were, regular shingles.
Good.
No, keep going. So right after that.
Big one Pearl Street. Yeah, I saw this. I looked at this. I think this is what I put on my house.
All right. Does anybody in the audience want to speak for replacement of the roof? Anyone in the audience want to speak against the replacement? All right, HDC 25-0029 51 Pearl Street is closed.
Perfect, thank you.
Good. Right, so I do not see Peter Springstill here or Susan Prusik.
No, that was.
Oh, so I mean,
Yep.
or Cheryl, sorry, you're right.
So Peters, you're probably under considerations. You're gonna wanna take an action on it.
Yeah,
So
so
the other one you could
just continue.
continue.
Yep.
He has one more session, I think, or one more month.
All right, so with that, the public hearings are closed. Now we'll go to the section consideration of public hearing. So HDC 25-0020 1 Water Street, Peter Springsteel. I think, as Tim said, the time limit seems to be up on this project. We've
Mhm.
been seeing it for a while. We understand it. We understand that there's no fault of owner, no fault of architect. But I think because of the time constraint, we need to make a motion to deny without prejudice. Or, motion to approve, but we're gonna deny without prejudice.
What's that?
No.
Robert's rules has to be a positive, that's a motion to approve.
Right. So, all right, does anyone want to make a motion?
Sure, I guess I make a motion to approve.
All right,
Second.
all right, so let's take a vote.
Second.
So you probably under discussions, you probably want to create a condition. That you are. Taking this under consideration for time constraints
Mhm.
and not because of lack of anything else. So as a condition, you would allow him, if the motion does not pass, as a condition, you would allow him to reapply without waiting the time frame.
Without-
But if we say theoretically nay without prejudice.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
you could, whatever, as long as it's clear that,
So, yeah,
yeah,
so just to repeat what I started the conversation, it's like. This is a time constraint thing, and that if we happen to deny this project. We just explained to him that he doesn't have to wait the full year to reapply,
So we would say without
and
prejudice.
that's the consideration that we'll put in the file. If it happens to go that way. So, all right, we'll take the vote.
Goodrich, nay without prejudice.
Nay without prejudice, Ernst.
Ferguson, nay without prejudice.
Moriarty, nay without prejudice.
Kohler, nay without prejudice.
All right, so as a result of the vote, the application is denied without prejudice. It is 25-20.
Denied.
Denied without prejudice. But with the stipulation that he can vote. Sorry, he can reapply
Reply, right?
at any time. Within the year.
Just as a quick follow-up, this application has gone through like 3 different designs in the last 2 days. Trying to sort something out that state's happy with, Public Works is happy with, meets the requirements for zoning for the amount of public space that they're required to do. So there's been some challenges with this application.
Yeah, I mean, he made that clear in his presentation.
Did
I
he?
mean, not,
here for that one.
yeah, not the last part, what's happened the last week, but the fact that he's jumping through
Yeah,
all sorts of hoops to
Right.
make everybody happy. All right, so everybody's good with him being able to reply within a year?
Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to HDC 25-0025, 3 Fort Rachel Place. Addition to the deck. Any questions or? Do I have a motion?
Moy already makes a motion to approve, stipulating that a cut sheet of the door is supplied
Within.
within 2 days.
Yeah.
Second.
All right. A vote or a discussion, sorry.
The only concern I would have, but I also want to stipulate, Kohler stipulates that the upstairs and downstairs balustrades are identical as well. That they're like for like.
Yeah, we can add that to the motion. So the motion on. is
Wait,
that-
do I need to amend my motion?
Yeah.
Okay, so amend my motion to approve with stipulation that a cut sheet of the door is provided within 2 days and that the upper railings match the existing railings that are on the first story.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Good,
Good or second.
Ernst, aye.
Oh,
Oh.
good or shy.
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
So you're approved with those stipulations. Are those clear to the, okay. No problem. All right,
There you go. That's why I had you hang. That's why I had you hang around.
Go have a beer.
Thank you.
all right, so that one's done. All right, so now we're on HDC 25-0026, 26 West Mystic Avenue. That's the fence that no one showed up for. Anyone? Make a-
Yeah.
We continued it last time.
Yeah, you
too, right?
continue the
Yeah.
public hearing. So you don't have to take
Continue
any
it
action
again?
into consideration. Yeah.
All right, so we don't have to make another
don't
motion
have
to
to do anything
continue
with
because
that.
we
Nope.
continued it last, okay. All right, next one is HDC 25-0028, 51 Pearl Street. And that is the removal of the barn. Does anyone want to make a motion?
I think we should, that's it.
Well, we go motion discuss.
That's right.
Motion second, yeah, then have a discussion.
Make a motion.
Moriarty makes a motion to approve.
Kohler seconds it.
Okay. All right, now we can have a discussion. I have a hard time having anything
Torn down.
torn down, but I totally understand the situation. But it's not our yay rah rah thing to do as a historic district commission to say, yes, tear it down. I just want you to I want everyone to understand that we are not, or I won't speak for these other 4 gentlemen, but I'll speak for myself that we are not pro tearing things down, but again, this particular situation where it makes sense for the safety of all involved, especially Tim's point with the road. But I just want to make it clear that we are not pro tearing things down here at the.
We're gonna
HBC.
miss it, honestly, on a personal level. It's an amazing building, but
So my position is 60 days
Yeah.
before we do anything. I think it'll live in the same spot, but I'm just difficult to word that motion rather than to approve it. It's a little different days contingent on, or I don't know, if there is a way to word it, let's say we want 60 days.
Yeah, I would say that you would approve the removal of the building with the condition that the applicant is gonna come back with 60 days. And explain how and satisfy the requirement of the
Right.
commission that it be disassembled and not torn down.
Yeah.
If I can just add one thing to this too, as far as trying to put this building back together, it's in a flood zone down there. So you're looking at 50% of the value of it, which,
Yeah.
you know, if you put a couple nails in that building, you're gonna go over the 50% of the value of it. So if you were going to try to do anything with it, you would have to elevate it, you would have to put flood vents, you would take away the character of it. So that's another factor to take into consideration with the removal of the building.
No, and I think we're in a
That's a good
good
point.
spot. I totally trust these folks. I just want to make sure it's the good that we have to
Are we saying 60 days?
Yeah.
have a good faith effort, like I said with him, you know, work with me. Commission has a list of people that probably do it. So
So something that we would be involved, like. you'll
I'll
provide
give you my
information.
information and then just, I'll put you in touch with people at
Gotcha.
Preservation
Yeah, that
Connecticut.
works.
And I'm sure somebody will take it apart.
Yeah, that works.
Any further discussion? All right, we'll take a vote.
So I think we need to amend the motion to approve it
I guess we could,
with.
do we have to amend the motion or can we
Yeah.
make that a stipulation
You
of?
can just
the-
you can just add a condition.
We're gonna add a condition to it. So,
Trouble in 60 days, showing good faith effort to try and have it.
Yep.
Okay.
so vote.
We'll get a second already.
Kohler seconds it.
Yeah.
I'll give her a try.
Ernst, I.
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
Just so you're clear, we're good with you removing it, but within 60 days, you're gonna come back to us and one of our meetings and share with us your plan for disassembling it and having it repurposed, if that's. You still, if you, that's what you'll say to us with, when the 60, before the 60 days are up.
So
Yeah.
I have one question. This way,
Yeah.
the 50%, right?
Mhm.
FEMA in the flood zone, so, does that include like cost to disassemble, or is that just?
No.
Okay,
no.
just want to make sure.
Yeah. Substantial improvement
Gotcha,
or substantial damage.
because it probably costs quite a bit to.
Yeah.
That's good, okay.
Okay.
No, that's not, demolition is not, it's not subject.
Now we're on HDC 25-0029, the roof replacement at the same property, 51 Pearl Street.
It's like for like.
Like for like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve Goodrich.
Moriarty, second.
All right. Any discussion on it? Seems pretty straightforward too.
Looks nice.
I'll take a vote.
I'll give her a try.
Ernst, I.
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
Right, HDC 25-0029, 51 Pearl Street roof replacement is approved. Okay, that closes the consideration of public hearings and we're now moving on to the pre-application.
Oh, my gosh.
Thanks, Thank you. I put our thing on this scratch rock. All right.
Okay.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, so the first person on the list is Eric Goodman.
We text them.
He's not
I don't
on, so.
That is the most embarrassing thing I've done in a long time. Eric Goodman, 39 West Mystic Avenue. Yes, I have. Even. I know he's out of the country, so I don't.
I just texted him.
Yeah. All right, so why don't we go
Do the next
we'll
one
do
and
the
have
next
to come
one?
back.
So we'll start with Kate. Looks like Shen, 200 Cliff Street.
Shay.
Okay.
Probably my handwriting.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh.
these so you guys can share. And then,
We could have the overhead camera.
I'm sorry.
that's okay. I noticed you were writing. I thought I'd
Yeah.
give you a second.
Oh, straight.
Oh, boy.
This is a pre-app.
Yes.
I can zoom in.
Yes.
Zoom me out a little bit. Tell me where you think you're
Oh, yeah.
comfortable.
Clarifying.
Oh, that's like, we're not there.
So I'm Kate Sham with Mercer Bergevena Architects. I'm here on behalf of Les Olin, who owns 200 Cliff Street, and we are just adding a small addition to the house, to the rear of the house, actually. And as you can see from the site plan, there's a photo location A, which will come in handy in the next page, just so you can kind of see. Since this is behind the house, you can't really see much of it from the street view, which actually very beneficial to show.
So they're gonna.
So it's hard to see, but the slight blue mark in that photo is actually Les standing at what would be the corner of this new addition. It's just going to be an extension of an existing shed roof. Letting you guys digest look at photos. And then we have the western neighbors up the street on Cliff Street. It's the upper part of the hill. And then our lower neighbors towards High Street. And then the floor plan, as usual, just to show just an extension to the rear of the house. Very simple, one room. And just the rendering of the rear addition. So it ends currently at this slight porch overhang. And then we're just pulling it out from an existing roof structure to about 5 feet or 4'6" from the edge of the main house.
So there's existing shed.
Yes,
You're
so,
extending.
yes, exactly. And it'll have, the elevations are definitely helpful. It's gonna match existing essentially everywhere. The shingles will match everything else that's going on at the house. The 4-inch cedar clapboard will be primed and painted to match existing, as well as the 6-inch floral corner boards also match existing. There are currently 3 Anderson 400 series windows that are coming out and will be reused along with the shutters that are attached to them currently. And there is a 10-inch floral rake board that will be replicated and essentially match existing. It's quite simple. It's just a little addition to the rear of the house. So, but we wanted to come in, talk to you guys, see if you had any comments, questions, concerns.
It's a concern, but it's not a concern.
Okay.
And I don't even think it's under our jurisdiction, but should there be a railing around that little deck?
Oh, there is.
No, up top.
Oh, that's not a deck.
Oh.
It's just a secondary lower pitched roof because the windows will be
Okay,
kind of in the way.
I was just looking,
Oh.
I saw the 2 doors.
No, oh, I totally understand. Yeah, no, they're just,
Yeah, you look at that picture. and you're
Looks
like,
like a door.
Doesn't it? That looks-
no, sorry, those are
Oh,
just
I'm
windows.
sorry, I just was like, what's on them?
Oh, no, understandable.
That was all.
The vinyl shutters, probably if they were gonna be, I know you're gonna be reusing them, I think if they were new or a new
Yeah.
installation, we'd probably have issues, but the fact that they're already on
Yeah.
the building.
That's, yeah.
I know.
Well, the windows and the shutters were like already
Already there,
approved years
existing.
ago when
Yeah.
he came,
Yeah,
whenever they
gotcha.
were placed, because these are
Yep.
newer Anderson 400 series, so.
Yep.
And it's, these shutters are all over the house. It's not just like these 3
Yeah.
windows, so.
Right.
Yeah, so it,
Right. No,
so I know, of
his point
course,
is
yeah.
Well taken in the sense that if this was a new construction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'd be talking about it.
of course, yeah,
But it's basically just moving
Yeah.
them.
yeah,
That's how I understand. it.
of course, yes.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
It's nice.
I do not.
No, I think it
I
looks
think
very
it's very
complete.
straightforward.
Wonderful.
Have you been in touch with Sue about getting your formal application in?
Hmm?
Have you been in touch with Sue about getting your formal application?
No, but it'll
in?
be in for tomorrow.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe just add window trim, what the material will be for the
Of
trim,
course,
yeah.
Yes,
But I
yeah.
think other than that, it looks really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you are. Thank you.
Do you have any more questions? Did we answer all the questions?
That was it. Wonderful.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so that is 200 Cliff Street. Now we're gonna move to,
Eric's on.
oh,
Oh,
Eric's on.
Eric.
Didn't I promote him? Talk, yeah. So it looks like he's just on
Phone,
a phone.
yeah. So can we unmute him?
I thought I did.
Oh,
No?
okay, now he's unmuted.
I
Eric, can
think
you
I
hear us?
Should be good.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey,
I
Eric.
can hear you.
Perfect. I missed you all so much.
So
So
state your-
I
state
had
your
to buy a
name.
house in the historic district. Eric Goodman, currently of 9 Roland Street, soon to be of 39 West Mystic Ave.
Are you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah. All right,
Yeah, so currently 9 Roland Street, soon to be of 39 West Mystic Ave. So this house is really cool. It popped up 2 weeks ago and I bought it quick because it's a really awesome place that has been in the same family since the 70s, and there's a lot of history going back to, I think, 1885. We're going to do a lot to it. So I had sent in a narrative to Sue, assuming that I couldn't get on, and I'm actually on the phone. I don't have my computer, so you might want to just take a look at that. And I'm going to come back in a couple weeks for the next meeting to kind of go
Okay.
through everything. And Peter Springsteel's going through the plans.
Eric, do you want me to put it on a
Um,
camera, present it or no?
Yeah, if you just kind of maybe want to like read through it quick, that might be the easiest way, and then I can like
I'll put
answer
it on
any
the camera, too.
questions that you all have.
for the public.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put it under the owl, Eric.
Perfect. So some of it's still TBD, just as we kind of get into it. The house, I don't think has really had anything done to it, with the exception of a few things, probably since it was originally built. Pretty loaded with knob and tube wiring, a lot of old stuff. So we're gonna completely update it.
Right, so I'm gonna turn
You
around
guys
and
are
read
just
it.
gonna have to-
I can't read upside down, but
Yeah.
I'll show the pictures as we go forward. So this is Eric, not me. Hi, everyone. I'm hoping to be able to get on call tonight out of the country, so service is pretty spotty here. So this is my backup. Bill, congratulations on your first meeting as chairperson. I miss you all so much. I decided just to buy a house in the district so I could come back to meetings. Peter Springfield is working on plans that I will present at the next meeting, but I wanted to share the direction we are going. If I'm not on the call, just comment on the photos and I'll watch the meeting later. 39 West Mystic Avenue was built in 1885 on a unique lot that creates a point between West Mystic and Route 215. The front of the property runs almost even in elevation with West Mystic, but the rear drops off 30 to 40 feet down the Route 215. The front and sides of the house are visible from the public way as well as part of the third floor from Route 215. Even though some parts may not be visible, I'll just present the whole plan, even if some of the work will not require approval. The house is in pretty rough shape, so we will be proposing some extensive changes. I think they will be a combination of needed updating and tasteful renovations. The aerial view of the house and the lot. Everybody says the neighbor next year is
Slide is right now.
supposedly this neighbor's a pretty good guy.
Sounds
So-
fishy.
That's the back of the house.
Back of the house.
It's got asbestos siding in it.
It does.
The good asbestos.
First, starting with the items that will affect the whole house. New cedar roof, copper trim, copper gutters, copper flashing. Copper flat standing seam metal roof on the sun porch and on the small roof above the front door. Replace all windows with Marvin Ultimate Windows grill patterns to match existing. Replace the rear sliding door with something more keeping in the design of the existing windows, still to be determined. Siding and trim. We're going to remove the existing asbestos siding to see what the original clapboard design of the house was. The plan is to mimic the details of how the house was before they put the asbestos on with new cedar clapboard and either cedar or solid gold treated pine wood trim. We removed some shingles on the back and it appears that the original clapboard and trim is still there. We are hoping that once we strip the whole house, we can see the complete original design and we want to restore. The condition of the front door is questionable. If we can restore it, we will. If not, we will have a replica made by Upstate Door Company to match the existing. Unfortunately, the water damage at the bottom and additional modern locks over the years may have compromised the original door beyond repair. Even though not regulated, we think copper gas lamps on the front of port of call on either side of the front door, like the ones, I'm sorry, on the front of port of call on either side of the front door. Starting with the first floor, the front sun porch needs to be rebuilt. The existing foundation, or whatever you call it there now, is sinking. So we want to remove the porch and foundation and rebuild it slightly larger as an enclosed mudroom and bathroom. The siding and trim will match the house. We propose a new door to enter the mudroom and the addition of a few windows to add light to the proposed mudroom and bathroom. We are still working on a design, but either veneer the current front concrete steps with brick and bluestone or some stone and granite. Also change the handrails to something more in keeping, possibly a more ornate iron still to be determined. The rear deck will be removed and replaced with Ipe wood decking. The window on the south end of the house is the current. The windows on the south end of the house in the current kitchen are 1980s contemporary windows, so we want to replace those with something in keeping with the house's existing window design. The major proposed changes are on the third floor. We're proposing raising the roof line on the south part of the house and extending the second floor and third floor to the south over the existing flat roof with the railings. This will allow both roof lines to be at the same height and also extend the house so we won't have that weird flat roof addition anymore that currently exists. The gable detail on the south side of the house will be removed and remade to accommodate the change in the roof pitch. We are also proposing adding dormers to the roof to create usable space on the third floor, similar to what I did on my existing house on Roland Street. The dormers will carry through the trim and siding details of the existing house in a way that adds the design without making the house look top heavy. It's hard to explain this without plans, so it's probably best to walk everyone through this at the next meeting with Peter's plans, and we'll show everything existing versus proposed. There may be some additional changes as we work through the plans over the next 2 weeks, but I hope this provides enough information so that you understand the direction we're going in with the plans. The goal is to finish the work by September, so we'll be applying at the next meeting to expedite material ordering and get the project going. Please let me know if you have any thoughts and questions, and we can address in preparation for the next meeting. Thank you for your time and consideration, Eric.
September's and the.
So that's,
Good job, Eric.
I was gonna say, that's kind of a lot in a nutshell.
Yeah. I mean, all that.
So I was gonna say, Peter's working on everything, so he'll prepare a existing and prepare a proposed. The real major stuff is the third floor, the dormers, and also stretching the house out over that possibly 70s, 80s addition that kind of sits off on the south side. We want that to go away.
So
We don't like it at all. So we want the house to kind of suck out over that and fill in better. But Peter's got a nice way of designing things that we can make those third floor dormers not make it look like a giant top heavy house, which there's a few houses across the street that added some doghouse dormers at some point, and it looked a little top heavy. We're trying to avoid that. So I know a lot of it is really like TBD, but I think it's going to be a really great property with a real use of like solid materials. Everything will be wood, everything will be cedar, clapboards. What we really got to do is get that asbestos off and see like what the house actually looked like, 100 years ago or 50 years ago, and try to redesign it off of that. Windows
So,
are
Eric,
pretty self-explanatory.
real quick, the shutters on the house are in pretty poor condition. What's your plan on those?
So those will be taken off, restored, and put back up. If we do have to order a replacement, there's one or two that are really bad. There's a great company down in South Carolina that we've ordered shutters for before. The same ones that we put on the 6 Elm Street house. They can make replacement shutters that are identical to like the existing shutters, and they've done that before for us. So we would do that, like another cedar shutter to match.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I think it's amazing. I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
fantastic when it's done. Eric, you know my feeling about dormers. So I'm interested, I'm excited to see what Peter comes up with on that, but I think overall this is fantastic.
Well, very nice.
Tim, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. I appreciate it.
All good.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, but you all know what I like, so I think it's gonna look well when it's done. I just I was hoping to have those preliminary plans back from him today, and I don't, but we'll have them for the next meeting. But it's exciting. It's a really awesome property, and it's in desperate need of restoration. So
Eric, do you know if that front door is original?
I don't know, because the glass on it isn't, and it looks like it's had some repairs over the year. Upstate Door Company does a really great job of making like mahogany, so they would create a new one that looked identical to that. They'll do like a 3D scan of it and recreate it. The problem there is just the threshold and the rot that's occurred on the bottom of the door, as well as like they've thrown in a bunch of locks over the years that broke apart most of the middle of it. So, you know, if we can save it, we'll save it. If we can't, unfortunately, it's going to have to be replaced, but it'll be something that you'll never be able to tell the difference.
Have you checked with your neighbors to make sure this is okay?
I did. I went over and I knocked on the door. Came out.
Sure.
I introduced myself. And I said, hello. I said, sorry, there's going to be a whole bunch of people banging their house. And now the whole yard is full of scrap from the inside of the house.
So, all right, I think we're gonna speak for everybody. We're excited to see what magic you transform the house into, and all of that that was read tonight sounds fantastic. I personally love the copper.
Yeah, give me a couple weeks. I'll come back, and there's going to be a couple other meetings because we're going to do like some small picket fence in the front, and there'll be the placement of the air conditioners, and we can figure that out where we'll put that. So there'll be a little bit here and there, but I'll present it as if you can see all of it, even though like the deck on the back, you can't see it from anywhere, and we'll just walk through it kind of. It'll make like a few meetings to get it done.
At this point, I don't think any of us have any recommendations or questions or concerns. Exactly. So, all right,
Cool.
thank you.
All right, well, give me a couple of weeks, and I'll see you then.
Enjoy your trip.
Thank you. See you.
Bye. All right, so now we're on to Anthony McCarthy.
No, we already did. That's wasn't that?
Oh, no.
Deck?
No, that's Three Fort Rachel.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
deck. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone wrote. All right, now we're on. I apologize ahead of time. Montas Loriakis. Is that close?
Oh, Montas Loriakis.
Okay.
All
right.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
Hi.
12 Water Street.
Hi, my name is Mantas Loriakis. I'm the owner operator of 12 Water Street. And I'm here for the pre-application to propose to a historic district to make some, is that right?
Yeah.
To make some changes on the directory of the Factory Square, as I do need some recognition for my business as well. So first we'll start with the address, 12 Water Street, and the location of it, also known as the Factory Square building. This is the pre-existing directory. So as you see, we have an old Factory Square signage. We have Margaritas, Fire Trucks, Mystic River, and Misfit Club in here. So there is just not enough space for me. So what I'm proposing is, I'll have it on the second page. No, we love them. We can't. So I did some calculations and I looked at it. So there is space to raise the Factory Square signage by 15 inches all the way to that corner. So that will give enough room to place another sign, which would be mine sign, danger bar, and match the same size, being 12 inches by 60 inches long. And that would be PVC vinyl signage, pretty much to match, all the pre-existing signs.
Didn't Margaritas close?
It did, they want to.
They did, and we
They wanna
spoke about
keep
it.
the
They
sign?
want to keep that sign because there's gonna be somebody else coming up, obviously, or, somebody else. So you want to keep that because that is a big commercial space, 8,500. I'm only 500 square foot, so I'm happy they gave me permission to do that.
I'm gonna start with a very basic question. So the new owner
Mhm.
of Factory Square is all on board?
Yeah,
Excellent.
there's a letter actually. Today we sent a quick letter
Okay,
saying
that's
that they give me permission to do that. Talk in behalf of them.
right. And now going back to that picture with.
This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
so. If you were to replicate the Mystic River chocolate, it's the same dimensions as that.
Yeah, so they
sign?
both Misfit, Mystic River Chocolate, they all are 12 inches by 60 inches. So 12 inches high, 60 inches wide. So I would definitely match up the same size, 12 by 60, 1 by 5. And
So they're the same material, they're all PVC like yours?
they all PVC, yeah, they all PVC. Just the margaritas and fried, I think they have a different material, but these are older signs as well. Mystic River is new establishment as well as Misfit.
As long as it's similar as the Misfit and Mystic River.
Yeah, I
Sign.
just have a closer look. There you go.
I mean, I think the logo could be larger, but I don't think,
Well, this one,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, we can make it larger. That's no problem. I think this one just doesn't really represent 12 by 60. So obviously the logo is going to be a little bit larger, and I think the lettering is going to be a little bit
just a
larger,
real quick-
just to like fill in. Absolutely.
Just a quick response to it.
Yeah.
We all like to read it.
I see no issue.
Yeah.
No issue.
All right.
Hopefully knows in your place. It's open now, right?
Yeah, it is every day at 4 o'clock.
You weren't there.
Great
your
drinks.
Your partner.
Free
was-
drinks.
Travis.
Free
Travel.
Travis. Great for drink. Don't say that. Stop at Miss.
You heard it
It's got a good color. All right. Montes, I think you're good as long as you stick to what everything you presented today.
Absolutely.
You're good.
All right, we'll go ahead and submit it, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Months.
Thank you.
All right. Justin and Elizabeth Eddy, 9 Pearl Street. Tim, this is a unrelated question. Crackle window. Anyone else?
Got a
want-
chair?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It's
blazing.
boiling in here.
Really not. Are you cold?
I just wanted to-
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tim. But you don't, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Name and address?
Justin Heading down on Pearl Street.
I'm gonna work with you on trying to get
Yeah, he'll
this
zoom out.
into the screen like you want or into your,
A car.
that's right, you can just kind of shift it around as you kind of point stuff out.
Okay, we are looking to build an addition in our backyard. It's best seen in this image here. There's a existing 10 by 12 shed here. That's in pretty rough shape. It came when we purchased the house about 8 years ago. The addition would be in the same orientation, same gable. This is 10 by 12, the addition would be 20 by 32. It would be attached by a breezeway, so it'd be a separate structure, gable structure, which I can show. Yeah, let's go to the site. From the street, just before we go to the site plan,
Oh.
there's the shed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've got it.
St. Mark's parking lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
Which has no activity ever.
Quiet.
Very quiet, especially at 1 a.m.
Yeah, we have a few stories.
I apologize. The street is on this side, Pearl Street. The parking lot is over here. Our driveway's here, so you just see a glimpse of it. The corner, which you do see the shed now. The addition will be attached, but by a breezeway. The gable runs along here, which we'll see in a moment. You can see the shed is here.
What's the paint on the house?
Currently, it's blue, like a,
Well,
What's that?
with the
I'm
removal
just curious.
of the shed, looking to build kind of a lean-to storage area on that side. Which you can see on the elevations. This is the north side of the property, so this is from St. Mark's. This is the existing residence, there'll be a connector. And then the addition itself, which is a single-story timber frame addition.
And then from the front, from the street view on Pearl, you would just see the corner of the addition there.
The addition is a prefab structure, so you can see it here by Ellington Barnyard. Just happens to be the right size and be timber frame. We do like that it's kind of agrarian in style. It's not hatching the house, it's supporting structure. The siding is Eastern pine painted shiplap. We did put some windows. We don't really want to have windows on this north side, but just to keep the agrarian vernacular, it would be nice to have a little bit of light, although looking that way is right into the parish house.
It's up high, so it's
Yeah.
Right.
like a
it-
clear story.
But the small windows, I think, look nice. The opposite side is where you don't really see, it's very private, it's in our backyard. And this particular structure offers different, whether it's a Marvin lift and slide or some operable Anderson doors that open up, Anderson manwall doors.
So, but it's not gonna be your garage.
No,
Oh,
no, it's
right.
just a flex
Okay.
space. Additional space. Main, just.
This is in the plan,
It's the interior.
just to show.
Probably gonna need to get into that.
Yeah.
But
So I met with the Headies. is it?
Yes.
Was it last week at one point? And a question they brought up, and I didn't have an answer for them. Because I have not dealt with it since I've been with you guys, is standing seam metal roofing. What would be your take on standing seam metal roofing?
Well, we're just fine with paying less and doing architecture.
I know, I wanna know though.
But yes.
Yeah, we were considering
Yeah.
maybe
There's several
standing
homes.
seam.
There's several homes on Fort Rachel Place.
My thought is because it's kind of a supporting building and it's not the primary,
Yeah.
which is not uncommon for them to have a different roof and
Right.
such. It would be, I'm just trying to get a feel for myself as well as them. So in the future, when I meet with people, I just didn't know if. Like what the take would be on it. So it's kind of gonna be, it appears like it's going to be on a per application basis.
Yeah.
That's my position.
Yeah.
If
First,
it's the main house,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
probably have a stronger feeling than on an accessory dwelling or I know.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I was gonna say, I personally love the product, but the historic district, it gives me a little bit of heartburn. So
it does me as well.
Yeah.
I would like it to be like for like.
Yeah.
I think the main building and that. The other thing, the breezeway, it's very,
Do you, I don't think we can see the breezeway though from the,
can you? From
Public.
St.
From
Can
St.
you?
Mark's.
From St. Mark's, you
Parking
can,
lot.
that's a private property.
but you can still, walking down, you can
Can
definitely
you?
see that.
Okay.
side.
You could probably catch
It's gonna
Okay.
be.
very
it's
minimal
set
visibility
back.
of it, yeah.
What's your issue with the breezeway?
I don't, it just seems very modern. It yells modern to me.
I think sometimes when you're adding on
Yeah,
that space is a good way to transition.
Yeah.
Rather than having them just slammed together.
And we have coverage to jam it against the house.
I know that in the
It's pretty-
historical world, a hyphen is often used to confirm
Yeah.
between new and existing structures. Like actually encourage the National Park Service.
Right.
They encourage that kind of separation.
If you go into a lot of buildings, like up in Vermont, you go from the main house to like an entry room, to a wood room, to a
Yeah.
milking room, to a barn or a carriage, and it's all just kind of steps.
And they're great. I think they're
Yeah.
brilliant. Does it fit in historic?
I'm just trying to explain.
Yeah, no,
the-
like
the-
barn
the
conversions,
transition
there's a
like he
ton
was
of them,
talking about,
you know,
yeah.
and they're great.
Well, to your point, I'm thinking of a house in Old Mystic that I walked through, right, where you could tell colonial was a colonial house, and they added, you have that sort of step, right? Right with these guys, I think it's sort of delineates, but also there's a nod to outlook them, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Like also just the proportions, because you can really
Be
feel
very
the separate
hard to see, but
volumes.
yes.
It's not very, it's a pretty delicate connection.
You see a lot of houses where they added to for this kind of
breezeway.
clarifies.
I think it's fine.
This is a question for the commission. The sidings are different. I was just curious. On that, one's vertical, one's horizontal, sorry, one's horizontal, one's vertical.
Well, it's interesting. We did exactly that on ours.
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't even
we,
look that up.
we did a heavy timber garage.
Black house.
We have dark gray.
Charcoal.
I'm trying to get too dark.
We walked and saw that.
Yeah, that's vertical. That's vertical, it's vertical, and it's a heavy timber, so.
And so, and again, I think it delineates the two structures, I don't,
Okay, I just wanted to get a sense from that.
I like it, that's.
In our case, there was a garage or barn on that site way back when, so. We're trying to duplicate it.
The other thing that the connection does is, and we didn't get into it and I didn't look into it. But if it's if the structure is separated, we would have to look at it from a zoning perspective of having the two buildings on a lot, two living areas. I don't know how, I didn't get into a discussion with Tom or Deb about how that would be viewed in the eyes of zoning. So that would have to be revisited too, and may potentially be a problem if it's not connected.
Okay. Have you looked at the setback? Is it?
He's fine with setbacks.
Yeah, this the gray is the setback.
Yeah.
And then the shed, you said the shed that's there is going away.
That will go away.
Yeah.
Sit back.
So, yeah, so that would have to be part of the application, just removal of that, but.
This is.
I mean, it doesn't bother me, if anybody else, I could go either way on it, I personally like it, because it shows the two, but that's me, and whatever you guys want, I'm good with.
I'm not seeing the lean-to.
I like it. Yeah, the storage cabinet.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, okay.
Elevations.
Oh, I see it now.
It's like a Z back door, a couple Z back doors or something there. Is that what they are for their storage? Yeah.
Okay.
Happy to design it for.
No, I just originally see it. Good.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Oh, yeah, we're excited. All the rooms are the same size, so this will be bigger.
Nice.
Excellent, thank you.
All
very
right,
much.
thank
We'll
you.
be back.
What year is the house?
1862. Busy area. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Have a good night.
All right, I have no more names on the pre-app list.
1, 2, 3.
Somebody in the
Are
crowd.
we here for pre-app?
All right,
Gentlemen here for pre-app? No? Okay.
so
Maybe if you
Cool.
just want to state your name, we
Come
can
on
add
up.
it to the list,
Yep.
so.
Alan Williams. Here for 77 New London Road. 77.
Because I was trying to place it.
all right, all right.
Carolyn Oaks, sent an email back and forth with Susan on that, told her that I would be here today.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna make a motion.
Well, you could just have him sign, he can just have him sign it, have him sign it in, and then you're all set. You don't even have to, just be on the list.
7 New London Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Barely. It's the kind of all by itself out there.
It is the only house on that side that's in the district.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna recuse myself from this. I had actually made an offer to buy the house, but then with their plans are me again in the future, so based on that, I'm gonna recuse myself.
It's literally.
Sure?
the
Come
only
on.
house.
Oh,
That's, it's
Um,
that little, it's that little.
oh, wow.
Okay.
So I'm here, representing Carolyn Oakes, who is the owner of the property. She inherited it from
Probably
her.
flip that, the sheet, the piece of paper, just flip it.
Yep.
There. So it's facing us.
There you go. You can move the microphone to the side or something if
How's that?
that ends up being easier.
Great, thank you.
She inherited the property from her brother and she's a friend. And I've known her for many years. And I also have a background. I've done historic renovations. I do commercial work. I'm a licensed real estate broker and a licensed new home contractor. So she's asked me to get involved. And we're trying to go through the process to figure out what can be done. What I'm here for tonight is that this end of the building, which faces the street, which originally did not face the street. I don't know what point in time that road changed, but this is what faces the street currently. We would like to, for like kind, replace the siding and replace those 4 windows. They are different. As you can see in the photograph, you have a GBG, you have a true divided light with screens, and it just looks ugly. It's my opinion. So we'd like to replace those 4 windows with Marvin SDLs and replace the clapboard with cedar side clapboard. The brakes are in pretty good shape. Actually, they were replaced and a portion of the siding was replaced at one point in time, not that long ago. But we would take all the siding off, replace the corner boards, replace the trim around the windows, and paint the whole house. The other 2 sides that are visible from the street, we wouldn't do anything to the right side of the photograph, which was the original front. That has been replaced at one point in time, not that long ago. And the left side of the photograph, there's a few rotten clapboards that we would replace, but that's it. So I'm here to ask for permission to order the windows. It'll take a while. Don't know if there's anything else that's needed from us to do that for this commission, but it would be like kind. Only thing that would be is the windows would be replaced, cedar siding and painted.
Would you do the 12/12?
Yes.
So my only other, I guess along that lines, is visually, the window on the far right bottom seems smaller than the. Would those 2 windows be the same size?
Yes.
So you into the.
Go to the larger size.
Go to the larger size. So what could I? So what happened is, when they replaced it, they did a replacement window and they went inside. Okay.
On the far right.
On the far
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So it's a vinyl GBG grill between the glass replacement window. And we would get rid of that. And it would be this, it would match the same. They would be custom, these would be custom Marvins. So they're 58 and a half, I think is the height on them. And they go right up to the top. There's very little ceiling at the top, indicative of the.
What year is this house?
So that's a good question. We don't know exactly. I've reached out to Mr. Streeter to see if I could get some help there. We have indications that it's somewhere that was known as the Asa Parker House.
Yeah, he actually was one of the forefront developers of the Transcontinental Railroad and one of the founders of Lehigh University.
Yeah. So
1740 is what I've been able to pick up on it.
Mm.
So he was.
That's old.
On the.
Yeah,
back
this is a
at the
true
house
Cape
there on
Cod.
the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm not sure. We're still, that's good information, you know, that you heard there. I'm not sure exactly. We're trying to ascertain the actual date. And, you know, the other side of the house was, they put in some casement windows, which we're gonna take care of. The inside of the house, the fireplaces are beautiful. The fabric around the core, the main structure, the ridge line is nice and straight. But there's some beams and some columns that need to be straightened out on the inside, nothing visual. You know, to try to, I actually found digging around, going all through there, was able to find where at some point in time, someone did quite a bit of work to this and they put in a kitchen floor and then another kitchen floor and they built it up. So there's about a good 1 3/4, 2 inches between the wood floors. But in the door casing runs down on an angle. So I went into the basement and they covered over where there actually was some rot that you couldn't see, where we can jack up a beam, put in another lolly column and kind of go nice and gently and raise it up and fix it. Instead, they just shimmed the floor, you know, here, it's easier to shim it. So we're gonna give it some love and that's what we would like to do.
We don't use a level in our house.
No, well, you won't need one in this one either, but we'll try to clean it up a little bit.
But just to confirm, the two bottom windows will be the same.
Yes,
Yep. Okay.
and the two uppers will be the
Be the same
same,
as-
which are smaller than, yes,
Yeah, same but different.
yes. So I don't know if it requires another meeting to come back,
Yes.
Would, yeah.
Yes, you have
Yep,
to do an
absolutely.
application and.
even like
present-
kind,
do-
even
do
like kind.
Everything
Okay.
that you just did tonight.
Materials
Yep.
list.
Materials list,
Okay.
Okay.
Break
the
down-
cut sheet of the window.
Okay, I brought a sample, actually.
Yeah, you don't need to bring
Yeah,
that back. I
yeah,
thought you wanted
yeah.
to-
Might I don't know, I've, this is my first
Yeah,
time in
the-
front of the commission, I have no idea.
Here's the materials.
Yep.
More
The site plan.
site plan, but just the more detailed, the better. Better to be over detailed and give the same presentation that you
Okay.
gave tonight.
Yep.
Is all wood being replaced with wood?
You said the right
So
stuff.
really.
That's like for like.
Like kind, his application really. would
The
only
windows.
be
These are
considering the
Just the
windows.
windows.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna hurt to have the siding.
If you want to add that in, but
That's,
yeah.
that's fine.
Any other questions? No.
I have a question.
Oh.
Is it unreasonable to assume, because there's a long lead on these windows, is it unreasonable to assume that this would be looked upon favorably
We
by the
can't- we
commission?
Cannot say that at this point in time. It's a risk often builders take.
Yep.
And oftentimes they read the room properly and there's other times where they read the room improperly and have to deal with the repercussions of ordering that.
Okay, fair enough.
But Marvin is the. been in the business of historic windows longer than anybody else.
Okay.
Around.
Okay.
I think that's a fair answer.
Great, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
So if you want to be on the next meeting, which I'm assuming you do, you have to submit your application before this Thursday. Okay. Which gives you tomorrow, or Thursday morning.
Those are all. You can have back to.
You can have them back for this pre-app, so.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
So, did I miss it?
What number, excuse me, what number Lona Road was that again? I'm sorry.
77.
77. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so sorry, I'm gonna just continue. So that closes the pre-app review. And now we go to the public communications. And so. Do you have any?
I don't have anything related to public communications. Anything that I have to discuss would probably be under old business.
All right. Anybody? Approval of the minutes?
First one is
April 1st.
April 1st, yes.
So the basic question, did anyone read them?
I did. I had no issues with them.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with you.
Yeah.
I went through.
I'll make a motion to approve the April 1st minutes. Moriarty.
Kohler.
All right, okay, so we'll take a vote.
A good try.
Ernst,
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right. We'll go to the April 15th minutes. Did anyone get a chance to read those?
I also got them quickly.
Do you need anything? I just,
No, just learning little.
oh, okay, all right.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Have a good day. April 15th. I did. All right.
Everybody good with them? Yep. Better make motion to approve.
Moriarty, second.
Ernst,
Better try.
Ferguson abstain.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right, yep, sorry. All right, so that closes approval of the minutes section. Now we'll go to old business. So turn it over to Tim at this point for old business.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted me to discuss with the commission or if you want to
I
discuss.
thought that was that old business.
Well, the handbook update,
Handbook? Yeah.
yeah, that's ongoing. It would be under new. So yeah, it would be the status of that. So I don't know if you want to
I'll
discuss it
start.
or
I
we
didn't-
can,
Well, we're gonna tag team. it.
yeah, try to bounce off each
Okay,
other.
so
And I have some new information that has come to light.
since you and I
You and I
met.
sat and talked to,
Okay.
so.
All right, so I think I came in actually to meet with Tim about something totally different. And he presented to me some just a very interesting I don't know what's, I don't want to make this bigger than it is, but I want to at least address the situation. The handbook that we've all worked so hard on in various degrees to get approved is been presented to our lawyer, Rich Cody, and he came back with various recommendations. The first ones are the shall versus may. Remember, that was a big thing, and that was something Tim feels strongly about, and I have no problem with it going to shall. I don't want to influence the group.
Wait, isn't it shall now? And you want to switch to mayor? Am I got it backward?
It's may.
It's May now and
May
you guys
now.
want to switch it to shall,
Okay, that's what I thought.
Right.
All right, that's what I thought we were.
Right.
and the attorney wants it to be made.
correct?
Right, and Tim wants it to be May as well. So just for transparency, I have no problem with it being May. That's not a hill I'm gonna die on, for this. I think it gives my personal opinion. You guys can have your own opinions, but my opinion is that it gives him the proper leeway to do the staff, the proper leeway to do their job. So that is a change that I think if we don't go with it, it could mess up the process. It could prolong the process. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What does state code say? Is it shall or may? That we mimic state code.
I thought that's what we did.
That's what I thought we did. That's why I'm asking the question.
By putting the word shall in. So nowhere in any of the codes, building codes, anywhere. Does it regulate me that I shall commence with enforcement? It's really at my discretion and to what level. Anywhere in the building code. It's all may. It's all may.
I think, I mean, the Connecticut general statute that covers historic district commission, but I think.
I think that,
I could be
I
wrong.
think
I
that
think that is
expert comes right out of that piece of the statute, and I believe it said may.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it. I
Yeah.
would say sure.
Okay, well, we're not gonna vote on anything tonight, but I just wanted to bring that up, that was.
If I could just
Let's see.
elaborate on that a little bit, that creates an authority that it's in direct conflict with the authorities that were described to me when I was hired.
Yep.
So my recommendation, if it were passed as shall, I would request that the town appeal the adoption of the revisions. Based for my
Sure.
personal job reservations, just to let you know.
So that's just something you heard something for us to mull about and,
And if I could just elaborate on the attorney's opinion on it, is he felt it should be may as well, for a number of reasons. That go into the whole enforcement procedure.
so that's one small snapshot of the feedback from the lawyer, so. Again, you guys are allowed to have your own opinion, and when we get to that in the future, we're not gonna vote on it tonight. I'm just,
I have a suggestion I could throw out. I know the State Historic Preservation Office offers, so these things, maybe just let them to get their feedback, so we have Rich's, theirs. I mean, Rich is an attorney, they've got their own experts that are probably smarter than me anyhow, so,
Just have another set of eyes on it.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, I have something to kind of bounce off of that. That's kind of the new piece that I wanted to talk once Bill kind of explains how our conversation concluded.
yeah, so the next part of it was overall. The feedback from Rich was like, the stuff we gave him, he had no issue, like it wasn't anything glaring or anything jumping off the screen that's like, oh my God, no. But what he did say, and just correct me if I
Mhm.
go astream, it was a week ago and a lot has happened in a
Yeah,
week
yeah.
for me. But that overall, the document is not enforceable as a legal document, and I'll be very transparent. My first reaction was like, oh my God, I wish we'd known that
Yeah.
earlier, but that's neither here nor here. That's not a pointing the fingers comment. It's just like, oh my God, we did all this work, and what I would like for us to, consider is what Rich, Tim and I are gonna sit down and figure out like how we can make it a more stronger document from an enforceable point of view, but I just wanted to put that out there as a comment from Rich.
So can I
Rich,
just
yeah,
bounce off of
Yeah,
that?
and so,
His opinion of it is it's an administratively poor document. Your revisions that you guys have done to it have not harmed it or made it substantially better. And it's not because of the work you did, it's because of how the document is initially. There's a number of conflicts within the document. There's a number of, and it's mostly in the procedural process. He bounced through some of them with me real quick, and I was like, I completely saw his point on some of the stuff. I'll give you one example. One example is a modification. The description in the procedure states that the modification can be presented during a public hearing under old business. Well, there is no public hearing under old business. So if somebody were to come in and get a modification and a neighbor didn't like that and they were going to appeal it, this commission has no grounds to hold up their decision on that based on that language right there alone. It's very conflictive. It goes against regular procedure. It goes against the procedure that's outlined prior in the document. That's just one location that he showed me that there's a conflict in it. Again, like the document is weak administratively. it would be easy to beat if we ever had to try to defend it in court. What you guys, the work that you guys have put into it didn't make it any worse, didn't make it any better. But if you were to adopt it as is with my recommendation of moving the shall to may, nobody would have any opposition to adopting it and using it as a working document. With the understanding that I've done a little work since talking to you and talking to my director, that I gave him this feedback on it. And what probably should have been done initially is when it was determined that this document needed to be worked on, overhauled, however you want to look at it, we probably should have retained a suitable consultant to work on it with us.
So
Let me, if I can just finish. So my conversation today with Mr. Reiner was, what's the possibility of getting money put into a CIP? So we can pursue this, with somebody who is knowledgeable, somebody who can do some research of Mystic, find out where Mystic is, and write regulations that are suitable for Mystic and will be suitable for a period to come. And I don't know if you guys watched last night's RTM, but all of our CIPs got approved. So we currently have no outstanding CIPs or future CIPs that we're going to go after. He is 100% in agreement in reaching out to some firms to determine a cost, a ballpark cost of what this is going to cost to do this. And then putting it and creating a new CIP line item and getting it approved next year. And then starting the procedure with an RFP to hire a consultant to properly overhaul, study and overhaul the regulations or guidelines or handbook, however you want to, whatever we're going to determine is going to be created. So that's, I know it's a long-term thing, and I know that's probably not what many of you who sat from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock on multiple nights want to hear. If you know, the work that you put into the document that outlines some clearer details on what you're looking for architecturally may be helpful in the time period from the time it's adopted to when a new document is created. So if that's the case, then your work was not all in vain. But that's kind of where the road that has, this is where it's led me.
I'd like to actually bounce off what he said, what he said. I was gonna say too, that I don't think we should scrap it. I think we should get, some, when I say professional help, consultants. The other thing I want to say, in coming up on 5 years, I think with the addition of you three, this is the best commission that it's been in a long time. I think it's the best since I've been on. I just a lot of good feedback you guys give. The one thing though, there is grant money available to help us with this, and with your commission, I'd like to explore that. Get us that information, maybe it's something we can hire a consultant on quicker than a year.
Well, so right now, there is no money budgeted in general budget or CIP to overhaul these regulations or even have them looked at or studied.
For this fiscal year.
Yes, correct.
But I know as a CLG, there is grant money that we may be able to get from the state. So I'd like to make some calls and present the next week with everybody's permission.
I mean, if it's just an inquiry, then just nothing's
Right.
gonna
Right.
hurt just to find
But
out.
I think
fast.
that we should hire a consultant, then it's not my opinion and your opinion and your opinion, right?
It should be a third party, should have.
And if I can just add, so
Yeah.
the thing about grants is sometimes there's a lot of restrictions on grants, like grant money can't be allocated to something that's already been worked on. It has to be initiate a new
Yeah, no.
project. It can't, it can only be for certain aspects of things. And so it's, I just want the commission to understand that grants can work both ways. They can help and hinder you.
Yeah.
So just, you know, have an understanding of
Yeah,
that.
I just want to get the information. You could be, I'm crazy, or like you said, it's only for this, or no, because you guys started it, but at least that way we know.
I mean, again, we're not gonna say yes to it ahead of time.
No,
We're
I
just
just
gonna.
want permission to make the call
look.
on our behalf.
So is that clear about
Mhm,
this
mhm.
document? It's, and I personally don't foresee a consultant changing kind of the language of some of the things that we wrote about, you know, no vinyl windows and things like that and stuff like that, but I think it's gonna be more in the beginning.
more
the
more
procedure, the procedure,
There's a lot of
procedural.
procedural conflict.
right, that,
Again,
Right.
I think if we hire the proper consultant, that we don't want to hire somebody who's lofty that wants to turn this into
right,
some, they need to understand Mystic. They need to talk, they need to listen to the commission
right.
and understand what the commission's goals and missions are. And create a document and then have an understanding of the district that you're dealing with. And create documents from there. And then legally, from the legal procedural standpoint. That should be able to go. In a standard manner.
My only thought, I think getting the process straightened out is really important. I had no idea. That's one of the reasons I didn't vote on it, because I would just, I had a chance to spend a couple hours reading it, but it seems to me that there's gotta be good precedent somewhere.
Yep.
There's a model out there that's already been written and probably would be a great starting point.
Find out who did
There's-
Salem's or Newport's.
Yeah.
There's
Pick one.
consultants that
Right.
specialize
Yeah.
in just
That's
this.
what they do.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
This is what they do.
It's
Yeah.
funny, because I was head of Wisconsin Trust for way too long. And I went back there last year. And they are restructuring the whole trust again, and they went through and looked at 4 or 5 other states.
Mhm.
And picked one that was probably
Similar.
the best model, and they're remodeling, reforming themselves now they're looking at Washington State. They
Mhm.
found Washington State was like the closest thing. So I think there's precedent out there that should make this.
Well,
easy.
I'm sure that if you
Great idea.
hire the right consultant, the right
Right
consultant
consultant.
is gonna bring stuff to you.
Right.
As an example, as a comparative example.
Right.
This is very similar, this town that we've done work in is very similar to what's going on in Mystic.
Okay.
Should balance the changes, show you guys where the differences lie and that's the kind of stuff. That really, if you really want to create this document to work for the next
20 years.
20 to 50 years, that's, I would say that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'd say 10 with the way technology's changing. Built for.
Well,
no, but I have no problem with it, but I wanted everyone to hear that.
No, that's
message
good.
Tonight.
I think it makes sense.
Thank you.
Interesting. We used to do Habs drawings on 3x5 cards.
what's that?
We did Habs drawings on 3x5
Yeah.
cards back in the day.
Yeah, right. And not to take away from, was it Gibbs who created the document? And there's been some revisions that have been done to it. It's been a good document. It's served really well. But I think the former chair, you said it, I've heard a lot of you guys say things have changed
Mhm.
in years. The commission itself has changed in how they look at applications, how strict they are with it and what their ultimate goal is, or with the understanding that you're not trying to make everybody replicate every single board down there, but you're just trying to maintain a character. So those are all things
Yeah.
that.
Any questions about this?
No,
Are you-
very interesting.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good. I
Okay,
hope I didn't over. Okay, overstep.
It's not shall.
You better watch it, because I shall.
All right, okay. I think everybody, I
Yeah,
think everybody heard
Yeah.
what needed to be said on
okay,
that topic.
Yeah.
I don't think we're not hiding anything. There's nothing more, but I think it'll be interesting. I still want to have the Rich, you and me
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
meeting.
Yep.
The,
I was just kind of waiting for
Yep,
this meeting
yep.
to do that. Just so everybody knows, what also one of the things that concluded in our conversation here in the office was we thought it would be best, me, Bill, and Rich Cody are gonna do just have a conversation by Zoom regarding this, so he can hear firsthand some of Rich's language on this and
and I feel like I can then better communicate to you all, like his view.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
His views on it, and also we can all have a discussion. And be on the same page when the consultant eventually does. If it comes to that we're all unified and have the same, we're not gonna wholeheartedly agree as 5 individuals, but we as a unit agree with the process that going forward.
Anything else
I have
under old?
I have one question under old, and that probably is on the April 15th minutes. that were approved. We put in a stipulation for somebody on the April 15th, and I just wanted to make sure it was followed.
Which one was it? Do you remember?
The sign was to be no larger than 36 by 40 and not go below the window.
Oh, the
Pearl
Pearl
Street.
Street?
the eyeball shop.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Iris.
The Iris, yes.
Yeah.
Concrete iris.
Yeah. So that was. I
Is that, is that on the document as a
it-
condition?
It's on the, it's in the minutes and.
Okay,
I just want. A lot of us walk around and I just thought of it tonight. I haven't. Checked. I did see, those signs are big on that. On that street. I just have to say, from a comparatively speaking. The signs seem bigger.
Which street are you talking?
on
Pearl.
on Pearl Street, just just in my opinion.
It was interesting to me because I saw the sign we approved. And I like this new shop that's there,
Yeah.
the seafood. There was this big sign on the side
Yeah.
that we did not see.
Yeah.
I thought that surprised me.
Okay.
The big red sign on the side of the building.
For
Wait, where?
go,
For
is it off the hook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did notice that
There's
today,
a-
actually, when I
Was
walked
that-
by.
those signs have been there forever.
Previously it said Young Buns.
And it said,
They did
and,
like for like.
and they
Oh,
were,
they
and
did,
it was on their application.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I remember.
Because
it
was
was
all I remember
talking
was the
about-
They're
yeah.
big, they're big, but
Yeah,
it's just.
no, I mean, I just feel like everything
Yeah.
on Pearl Street.
It was red too.
is
I mean, that
big
might have been the
compared
difference.
to
Yeah, right,
everything.
right. Yeah, the color.
But-
He's painted the building now. And it's probably a little more contrasting.
So while we're on that, so the other thing that hits me, sometimes I come there on night and the lights on that sign is bright. Gets you right in the eye when you're coming across.
The lights that are on that side of the
Lighting
building,
the sign.
on that, on the seafood place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. You could
They
just look
should
at it.
put a dimmer on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
some kind of.
Well, you know, there's
interesting.
full cutoff requirements for zoning for any kind of light that's being replaced or installed as new. But if it's been there forever, like an old spotlight,
Hard.
it's hard to do anything with it until they propose.
We'll take a look at it.
Doing
Just
something
see
new.
if It was interesting. Could be a tweak.
We could probably take a look at
So
that.
when we make a motion to, submit window schedules or, whatever material lists within 2 or 3 days, do you check before you issue
Oh, yeah.
the letter? of
Oh, yeah.
appropriate-
Sue
Okay,
got
so-
some,
All
oh,
right,
yeah.
so the process is that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. She won't even forward the permit on to me until
Okay,
it's,
all right,
they've
okay,
met that
okay, that's
requirement.
good.
Yeah.
Any other old business? Because that's a nice transition to new business. But if there's more old, I can wait.
I just we typically do enforcement under old business and I
Oh.
don't have any updates on anything.
Mm.
I have kind of been flat out. I did have a couple, I played phone tag with the guy on 1 Ashby. I called him one time, he called me back and I just haven't had a chance to connect with him yet. Our office is getting busy. We're getting real busy at this point. Not that I'm going to defer enforcement altogether. I'll do my best to try to stay on top of everything. We have things that come up daily that we are addressing in addition to the ongoing things, so. That's all I have on that.
So I'm gonna close old business if there's nothing else. For new business, as the new chair, I'm just gonna put it out there as a, I don't wanna say a rule, but just, I'm not gonna make a motion to, cause I don't, it sounds corny, but like, I don't wanna use my chairness as an influence for you guys.
Mhm.
So as the chair, I'm just gonna moderate the meeting and I'm just gonna wait for one of the 4 of you or one of the whoever of you to make a motion. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Just, it sounds corny and silly, but I just don't want I don't want anybody to say, oh, Bill, not that I'm that person, but I'm just like, Bill influenced the committee by, flexing his muscles and said, made the motion. So I just gonna defer to you guys moving forward for motions. I just wanted to get that out there.
So don't sit there quiet.
Yeah, well, we kind of learned that when we're like. looking at-
Yeah, sorry. Right, no,
Yeah.
I should.
Yeah, you were like, does anyone want to make a motion?
No, I just couldn't figure out, other than new business, when to bring this up, and it's the last thing on the agenda, so, I think that'll help going forward, but it didn't help tonight, but I just wanted to get.
Now that we know.
Now that you-
Waiting.
yes.
Shareness. Is
Right.
that a word, shareness?
I just,
No.
I like to make up, I like to make up words every now and again, but I just,
Well, I think it's somewhat commendable to have the commission drive the application.
Yeah.
In
no,
essence.
and I don't. Yeah, I don't feel a need that I have to make a motion anyway, I'll just moderate the flow of the meeting. Any other new business?
Out of the bag, like I said, they made me a trustee of Preservation Connecticut.
Congratulations.
I get
Congratulations.
the full, thank you.
Yeah.
But the cool thing for us, I get the full whatever,
Yeah.
what we do on June 5th, but there's like a lot of really cool programs. Training,
Tell me again what you're doing.
trustee for Preservation Connecticut.
All right.
Yeah, so June 5th is our first thing, they're gonna come like. They have a lot of great programs for us, so I'll back them, come down with the full list and. They was training and, even like today, they have lists of people that want to take down the building, so.
Yeah.
We can help the pop the. Community, so, yeah,
Yep.
should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Bill, did you get the email I sent you?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm gonna
is
bring
that
I'm gonna
discussed?
bring that
Okay.
up. So they weren't here today.
Okay.
So 3 Elm Street.
3
did
Elm.
The second floor.
They have an application in
Oh, okay,
to
Okay,
expand
great.
to the second floor.
okay.
They put the cart before the horse, they put the second floor on, and then came last Tuesday or Wednesday
Yeah.
and put the HDC application in.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know it had come in until, Bill forwarded me the email last night and I replied, I said, I'll look into it this morning, and when I pulled the address up this morning, I saw HDC. And I scrolled down a little bit and I saw the old HDC. I said,
Yeah.
oh, they have an application, and I looked to see when they put it in.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bill forwarded you my reply.
No, I
But,
don't need to, I don't need to.
Yeah. It's,
As long as
so-
they come in.
Yeah.
yeah, they have their applications here. They have a pre-app. They actually have some pretty decent plans. It's basically going to be just like the first application in detail. It's just now they're going up a story. There's a reverse gable on the back of that house, and they're gonna match that reverse gable in part on that section. I don't think it's gonna be a hugely complicated application.
No.
So I think it's just one of the ones that it's good to get them in.
Yep.
And have them agree to come in. Well, I didn't even, it's not that they even agreed to come in, but they understood that they had to. Anything else on a new business? I have two things I gotta run by you guys. So UConn is doing a climate study, and one of their focus areas is downtown Mystic. They want to put a climate data collector on a pole somewhere in downtown Mystic. It's basically a module. It's about 7 inches long, about 5 inches wide. It has a couple of flanges on it. It goes about 8 feet up on a pole. And it has 2 clamps that wrap around it. Once they determine where they want to put it, they have not yet. It's likely going to be in public view. No matter where they end up putting it, it's likely going to be in public view. It's temporary. It's going to be from, I think they May to November or May to October or something like that, 6 months, somewhere in that. But they did just want me to run that by you guys as to whether or not they're going to need an application. I tried to look in to see where it kind of fell into. It doesn't really fall into anything in the handbook as far as what it is. It could almost be attributed to utility because it's likely going to be on some sort of a utility pole. So I don't know. I figured I'd just run that by you guys.
I think for safety's sake,
I don't think it's not in our purview.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay.
We
I-
do list wind powered energy devices, satellite dishes, and other specialized antennas.
Antennas.
It is.
So
that
it's
is-
like gray
Yeah,
area,
I think
but
for safety.
I just have them do it,
especially after
but-
we did the banner and show them the pole.
I'm-
That,
Is
and
it
it's also,
different?
and it is temporary.
But it's more than 30 days.
It's more than
Yeah,
30
no,
days.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you said temporary, I immediately went to 30 days.
Yeah.
but You're talking height of the tourist season, and I'm not saying it's 5 by 7, I understand it's like this, like this.
Yeah,
but-
it's,
But
You're just
I-
supposed to
my
fence
shoot
or
from the
put
hip-
iron handmade on it.
What is it monitoring?
primarily heat.
Oh,
It's climate collection.
my shoot from the hip is just have them come and present.
Okay.
It doesn't cost,
Yeah.
doesn't cost them anything.
I think
Just-
the current problem is they haven't identified a location.
I don't see anybody here
And
saying no to it.
Even if they
Doesn't matter, yeah.
say that we'll come back to you and let you know.
This,
Well,
this is
kind of-
going to be in the highest of visibility
Yeah.
areas.
Right, no, and that's,
That's
still
pretty
gonna-
much, yeah.
but I just think because the public should know about it.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's not gonna hurt.
Okay.
I just think
Yeah.
present, share where it's
So-
gonna be.
So
I mean,
can
get
I,
rid what it
can
is.
I have, so it's coming through our resiliency, part of our office. Can I have her put an application and just give me
Yeah.
some
yeah.
pictures
Right.
and stuff of
She
it?
does
and-
not have to show up.
Okay.
at 7 o'clock,
Okay, perfect. I'll do that.
Yeah.
But
But just.
we'll have somebody come around, or I'll go around and just show what it is. Then the other thing I have, and this just came to me today, is as you guys probably know, you are part of your commission regulates the district portion, the historic district portion of over in Candlewood. Correct?
Yes.
Over in that portion, if you are essentially at the four corners and you are heading north toward Ledger, Candlewood Road used to cut right through there.
It's the old double house you're talking about, the one that was, you're going,
What's that?
the gray double house there?
No,
Okay.
no. So on your left-hand side there, there's a rock that has, it's a commemorative rock. It's George Washington or something leaned against it when he was moving from here to there.
The house across the street, the gray house, as he stayed there.
Yeah, so that, and they want to move the rock because it's kind of cut off now since the road no longer goes through there. They want to pick the rock up and they want to move it across the street to the parcel to the east of the street instead of it being on the west side. Because it's cut off now. It used to be Candlewood went right across North Road and you could kind of pull off and go right there. Now to get to it, you have to go down 184 and then come up the dead end portion of Candlewood where the old Tim Hortons is and turn around and park over there. And they feel that it's not being visited because of the access to it.
And so being very familiar with that house and that rock, I'm sorry, it's a weird guy here. I agree with it. So the house that it used to be connected to was an old tavern, and although every colonial house George Washington supposedly slept in, this one they actually don't slept in. And the house is cool. They used to print an almanac there. It's got this super weird square thing on the front. It used to be a school. for
idea.
special
It's not on
navigation.
this map.
No.
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 So-
It's a-
rock
it's
was
in-
yeah.
before.
So
So it's
if
by-
you pull up the GIS and you put the historic districts on,
Yeah.
there's like six lots on Candlewood. There's a little piece across North Road that lights up. As well as over in the Packer section there where the coach house used to be.
So whatever this property that the town has got.
Yeah.
It's got like a substation.
Yeah, right. It's got a
That-
utility, yeah,
That used to belong to the local house. They gave it to the town.
yeah.
The Daughters of the American Revolution put that stone there.
That's who's
George
proposing
Washington.
moving.
So it's dark.
Well, I think we should move it because it should really go next
I
to
think
the
it's
house. 'cause
You
they
know
got
where
the
it's
one
like,
house and all that
it's near the
property.
corner of
Okay.
17.
They are put there in the
and,
40s, like you said, Candlewood was.
Yeah, it went all the way
Sorry,
through.
I'm
I mean, it's
I'm
across
geek
from a
here,
gas
that's all
station.
the weird stuff.
That's, yes.
I think it's a great idea, because like I said, right now, you gotta go behind Tim Hortons, you think you're gonna get mugged when you're back there looking at the stone.
Yeah.
So do they
So-
need our permission?
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is it, I don't know if it's not like they're
Where does
really
the water-
altering it or whatever.
I
Is
mean,
it?
I would think that they would need to come to us. However, I don't think.
We'll have a
I think it's the
problem
same
with
as the thing, have them come to us, but I will personally help them move it, I'm a big proponent of
I
it.
think it's an asset to the area, to be
Right.
honest.
Yeah, it is. It
Historically.
absolutely
I
is.
mean,
It's, some people seek it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
219 Wooden, so Candlewood right here,
There's also-
so
yeah.
if you wanna open it up. So this is the house.
oh, cool.
So this is the old Global house right here.
Yeah.
Do they have to
Something
pay
insurance,
the
it's a
fees
electrical
to
substation.
actually do this?
It's some, yeah,
Can we
electrical or
waive
pump,
for schools or?
backup pump or something, or,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you go behind the
Can you
Tim.
wait
What, Tim, I'm sorry?
Do they have to pay for a,
Is the stone and it
A
George
fee?
Washington.
What?
Any-
For application?
For the apps?
For what?
like the school? Does UConn have to pay for the application?
No,
Does Star just-
HTC is free.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, there's no application fee.
$20.
It's not like a building permit or a zoning permit. Zoning permit.
I want my $20.
Someone charged him $20.
For a sign, for your sign permit, it's $20 for zoning fee, zoning, but
Anyway, okay.
you're not getting your money back.
Professional navigation, school professional navigation.
All right, so I'll tell both of them that,
Just to come before it and.
yeah.
Just,
It'll likely be me presenting for that, and then I'll talk to David, who is dealing with the Daughters of the American Revolution, and have them put just some kind of a map together and a picture of the rock and show them where it is and where they're proposing to put it.
Great.
Trivia.
If it's weird, mystic, colonial trivia, I probably have a little idea behind it.
so we started at 7 and if there's no other. I just want to make sure this gentleman in the audience is taken care of. Are you all set, sir?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm just here observing.
Okay.
I have an objection. What I just heard, and I don't know if it would involve the new housing development going in or the expansion of the Tim Hortons property as according to the owner of it,
He-
the Rock.
yeah, so is that on Tim Hortons property?
It's right behind it. I don't know.
So you know the Rock?
Location.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the road, so I think it might be in a town right away, actually. Is it where you,
That's another point.
right?
Do you have any building applications to redo that Tim Hortons to expand it?
Not to my knowledge, there's currently nothing proposed there.
All right. With
My
that,
apologies, my name is Roscoe Merritt.
yeah, Mr. Merritt.
He's
Yeah.
a town councilor, yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't want to,
I just wanted to sit in and listen in to this commission. I've sat in on other commissions. Just getting a general feel of it.
Sure.
I
understood,
think it's going fairly well.
understood.
Brian,
Yeah,
Try-
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot to do.
yeah, so,
The other thing is with that barn. And I think I'll be done there is, I just don't wanna see any liability on the town. We've got a heap on us now. And it's costing and lawyers.
Right.
So if it's gonna fall, it's gonna fall, and that could be a liability. And
Yeah, yeah.
right.
I'd rather be got that as number one instead of finding somebody to move it.
well, if it got to the point where I felt it was an imminent public hazard, I would order it knocked down.
Right.
I have no choice under the building code that I regulate. Yeah, I would have to. At this point, it seems stable enough. Even if a piece fell at this point, yes, it's likely gonna fall into the right of way. It's not gonna fall and hit somebody else's property. It's not gonna fall and hit somebody else's house at this point. So, I mean, that was when I kind of reviewed the condition of it and made a recommendation to give them some time. That was the position I came from.
I heard a lot about Main Street of Millbank also. And I've tried to make the impression to those that have spoken to me about the liabilities on the town if somebody gets injured due to a hazardous road condition. So,
What did they say, knowing Main Street's too potholed or something?
oh no, well, potholes number one, we're trying to do away with that with a full road repair. Cause you look down inside every pothole and you're gonna see the old road that you skin paved over.
Mm.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. A new road is 30 years old. Skim paving is 2 to 5.
Right.
You want,
Mhm.
and down there with the moisture in the air, forget it. So, in the catch basin at Main Street and Pearl Street, there's probably about that far down, some spots of it. It's, they just have to understand there's certain things that have to be done. but in the manner that you're going at it, it looks like it's pretty fair and equitable to all.
All right.
Well, thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, so at 9:05 PM, unless there's any further ado, I will adjourn